Good afternoon, everybody. This is Holloway with the National Weather Service for January 5th, 2020. A couple options for you to help you look into watch warnings or advisories that might be mentioned on the show. A 1-800 number takes you through a menu system, and weather.gov/Alaska, and on the webpage. Lastly, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please contact us at the email list at the bottom of the page. For the hazardous weather map, we have just a few advisories out for this afternoon that will remain in effect until 9 p.m. The one down there at the southern end of the Alaska Peninsula is a winter weather advisory out until 9 p.m. on Wednesday. And for that little area up in the northeast corner of the Panhandle, that's another winter weather advisory that remains in effect until 6 a.m. Wednesday. So please check that out on those two available options. Let's take a look at the satellite information. You see a couple lows, one there passing through the Aleutians near Adak, and then another low, an occluded front pushing into the northern Gulf and down through the Alaska Panhandle. Also some lingering snow showers across the western interior Seward Peninsula, and then down through much of the Bering Sea, along with some cumulus down there through the western Aleutians, bringing some scattered snow showers, mixed precipitations south of the Aleutians. But otherwise, what's it look like on the service chart? You can see some moderate rain at the low elevations there at the Panhandle area, and then that occluded front just south of Kodiak Island, 948 millibar low there, scattered rain showers and mixed precipitation through much of the Gulf region and south of the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula. Otherwise, snow showers up through the Cook Inlet region and southern Alaska Range. And lastly, the trough moving westward through the Seward Peninsula, bringing some snow showers out there, and again some snow showers down through much of the Bering Sea. For tonight's weather, that low spins into a 956 millibar low, and occluded front reaching the northern Gulf down through the Panhandle, with moderate snow showers across the northeast Gulf Coast and into the northern part of the Panhandle. Lighter snow showers down to the southern Panhandle, light rain showers at the low elevations of the Panhandle as well, and out through Prince William Sound region and through Kodiak Island. Mixed precipitation south of the Alaska Peninsula, Aleutians. Otherwise, some snow showers through the rest of the Aleutians and in the Bering Sea. That trough remains somewhat stationary over the western interior Seward Peninsula, but otherwise all the activity remains in the Gulf region. For Wednesday, another Gulf approaching the Gulf region, and a 966 millibar low weakening there near Kodiak Island. Now a trough through the northern portions of the Gulf down through the Panhandle. Lingering snow showers there, and lingering snow showers out through much of the Bering Sea and Aleutians. Mixed precipitation south of the Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula. Otherwise, that trough over the western interior moves further north. And for Thursday, looking at a couple lows moving into the Bering Sea. Otherwise, snow showers through much of the region, Aleutians, and in the Bering Sea. And another weak trough through the western interior, bringing some lingering snow showers out there. Otherwise, a enhanced low pressure system, 981 millibar low there, with a weak warm front through the Panhandle, bringing some snow showers once again for Thursday. Moderate rain at the low elevations there near the Panhandle and northeast Gulf Coast. Otherwise, mixed precipitation around Kodiak Island, around another low, 976 millibar low there. And again, some snow showers through the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula. Low temperatures for Wednesday morning. We're looking at Ketchikan, 37, Sitka, 37, 31 in Juneau, 25 in Haines, 31 in Yakutat, 37 in Cordova area, 13 in Anchorage, 14 in Kenai, 27 in Homer, 34 in Kodiak, 9 in King Salmon. Otherwise, out through the Mat-Su Valley, 12 in Talkeetna, and then -8 at Iliamna. For Wednesday morning, again for the northern portions of the state, looking at minus 24 Kaktovik, minus 18 in Barrow, minus 7 in Point Hope, minus 19 in Arctic Village, minus 18 in Fort Yukon, minus 13 in Fairbanks, minus 4 in Eagle, minus 17 in Tanana, minus 20 in Galena, and minus 8 in Nome. And down through the southwest, Alaska Peninsula, 20s through Alaska Peninsula, Aleutians, and otherwise Bethel, minus 1, 11 in Dellingham, 27 in Cold Bay, 28 in Dutch Harbor, 30 in Shemya, St. Paul, 21. High temperature Wednesday morning, 43 in Ketchikan, 43 in Sitka, 38 in Juneau, 40 in Yakutat, 27 in Anchorage, 16 in King Salmon, 7 in Colcana, 21 in Talkeetna, 28 in Kenai, 38 in Kodiak. For the North Slope region, Wednesday afternoon again, Kogovik, minus 15, Ukiyavik, minus 10, Point Hope, minus 2, minus 12 at Fort Yukon. Looks like they're going to get the overnight low, or the high temperature there, minus 12, 12 in Eagle, 0 in Fairbanks, minus 7 in Tanana, minus 10 in Galena, minus 1 in Nome. Down through the southwest region, Wednesday afternoon, Bethel 2, 15 in Dillingham, 30 in Cold Bay, 31 in Dutch Harbor, 32 in Shemya, St. Paul 24. Low temperatures Thursday morning, looking at 39 in Ketchikan, 36 in Sitka, 35 in Juneau, 33 in Haines, 33 in Yakutat, 20 in Anchorage, 14 in Talkeetna, 18 in Iliamna, King Salmon 8, Kodiak 31. For the northern region, Thursday morning, minus 20 in Kaktovik, minus 18 Ukiyavik, minus 9 in Point Hope, and minus 19 in Fort Yukon. Looks like they will get the overnight low. And then minus 14 in Tanana, minus 18 in Galena, minus 10 in Fairbanks, minus 13 in Nome. And then for Thursday morning, southwest region, minus 3 in Bethel, 22 in Cold Bay, 25 in Dutch Harbor, 30 in Shemya, and St. Paul, 22. For high temperatures Thursday afternoon, 44 in Ketchikan, 44 in Sitka, 41 in Juneau, 34 in Haines, 29 in Anchorage, 25 in Talkeetna, Colcana, 16, 37 in Kodiak, 17 in King Salmon. And for the northern region, minus 15 in Kaktovik, minus 10 in Ukiyavik, 3 in Nome, and down through the southwest, 2 in Bethel, 25 in Cold Bay, 29 in Dutch Harbor, and 26 in...
And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Taking a look at the flying weather for Wednesday morning with the aviation graphics, looking at IFR conditions there in the Yukon Flats area. Some decent flying weather along the North Slope. Otherwise, IFR conditions associated with low pressure system and an occluded front out along the Northern Gulf. Otherwise, IFR conditions down through Bissell Bay, Alaska Peninsula area, and through Kodiak Island and portions of the Eastern Kenai Peninsula, Prince William Sound region. Otherwise, some IFR conditions down through the Lynn Canal and portions of the rest of the Panhandle. And for Wednesday afternoon, IFR conditions remain in the Yukon Flats area. Otherwise, marginal conditions along the North Slope. Continued IFR conditions through Vista Bay region, Alaska Peninsula, and continued IFR conditions associated with a occluded front there from Kodiak Island up through the Gulf Coast region and down through the coastal mountains of the Panhandle. For Thursday morning, continued IFR conditions into the Yukon Flats, some marginal conditions with some improving areas along the North Slope, and IFR conditions down through the southern Alaska Range and northern part of the Alaska Peninsula into Kodiak Island. Also some IFR conditions in Prince William Sound, Eastern Kenai Peninsula, and northern Gulf region. Otherwise, some improving conditions down on the Panhandle with areas of marginal conditions there. For Thursday afternoon, IFR conditions through much of the northern Gulf with another low moving into the area. Otherwise, some decent flying weather for most of the day on Thursday through the Panhandle. And some IFR conditions with a weak trough over the western interior, Seward Peninsula, and northwest coast. Otherwise, marginal conditions down through much of the Bristol Bay region and Alaska Peninsula, Aleutian Islands region. For past conditions on Wednesday, Anaktuvik VFR, look for marginal conditions on the southern entrance. Adigan VFR, Lake Clark Merrill VFR, turning to IFR conditions. Rainy VFR, turning to marginal. Windy, marginal for the entire day on Wednesday. Isabel VFR, turning to marginal on Wednesday. Mentasta VFR for the entire day. And Tanita, marginal conditions there. Portage IFR, Chilkoot and White IFR. And for freezing levels Wednesday morning, looking at the surface, following along the Aleutians up through Alaska Peninsula and Northern Gulf down to the Panhandle, you find an elevated freezing level of 2,000 feet over the southern end of the Panhandle into the eastern Gulf of Alaska. For icing conditions on Wednesday, up there in the northwest coast, below 5,000 feet with isolated moderate across much of the Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, southern mainland, out through the Panhandle, with considerable moderate in portions of the Bristol Bay region, Kodiak Island, about 4,000 feet there, and over into the northern Panhandle between 6,000 and 10,000 feet there. And for jet stream on Wednesday, low pressure there near Kodiak Island. Looking at light and variable conditions through much of the southern mainland, otherwise southwesterly winds through the northern part of the mainland with 50 knots there in the northern slope, 45 knots through the YK Delta, and through the Panhandle looking at southwesterly winds at 40 knots there. For 9,000 foot winds, low pressure there, analyzed at Kodiak Island again. Southerly winds into the northern Gulf and southwesterly winds up to 30 knots there over the Panhandle, and again 60 knots over the northern Gulf region, and then light and variable through much of the mainland, and northerly winds down through the Bering Sea and across the Aleutians. For 3,000 foot winds on Wednesday, again low pressure system near Kodiak Island, southerly winds into the northern Gulf, 50 knots there in Prince William Sound, 50 knots coming into the Panhandle, and pretty much light and variable across much of the mainland. Winds generally from the east across the North Slope, Arctic coast there, and northerly winds up to 35 knots down through the Bering Strait into the northern Bering Sea, and down through the Aleutians with 45 knots there near the eastern Aleutians. For turbulence Wednesday, below 5,000 feet across much of the southern mainland. I did analyze some isolated severe there in the northeast Gulf Coast, and below 3,000 feet across the Panhandle. Otherwise, below 3,000 feet across the southern end of the Alaska Peninsula and
Ahoy, Cadets, and welcome to the Okeanos Explorer. I'm Debbie, and I'm an ocean explorer. I work for NOAA, which stands for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Together with many other people, I work on this ship, and we explore the deep sea. How do we do that? Let's go find out.
Octonauts, let's do this. Yow!
The pressure in the ocean is so great humans can't go there, so we send a special robot. Octocadets, meet Deep Discoverer, our special robot for ocean exploration. And this is Chris. He works with Deep Discoverer. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Debbie.
Can you tell us about what Deep Discoverer does?
Sure. So this is Deep Discover, and today we're going to take Deep Discover up to 4 miles down to the ocean floor so you can see what Deep Discover sees.
Now, how do we do that?
We do that by using these powerful cameras and powerful lights.
That's neat. And what is that?
And this is our manipulator arm, and we use this arm to take biological and geological samples that we store up front in these boxes, and so that we can bring them to the surface so scientists can analyze them.
Wow, isn't that cool, AKwx? Wow! Now that we know more about the special robot that explores the seafloor, let's find out more about the ship. AKwx, let's do this. Now let's find out what we do with D2's video. Come along. This is the control room. A lot of things about D2 happen in here. Behind me you see the pilots. They steer D2 on the seafloor. And over here we have scientists. Hi Steve and Stacy.
Hi, this is Steve and I'm Stacy and we are marine biologists.
Can you tell us about the work you do here?
We actually look at the videos collected by the robots and we try to identify organisms along with other scientists on the shore.
What are you looking at right now?
We're actually looking at a sea star.
That's so awesome, thank you. Now let's look at how we make maps of the seafloor.
Excellent, Quasi. A good map helps you to get to places you've never been.
We also have a scientist on board who makes maps of the seafloor. Hi Derek.
Hi Debbie.
Can you tell us about your work?
Sure. My job on the ship is to make maps of the ocean floor. We do this by sending sound from the bottom of the ship. It echoes off the seafloor and comes back to the ship. And then from that, we can make maps like this. So this is what it would look like if you were able to drain the water out of the ocean and actually see what the landscape looked like down there. We use these maps to give the vehicles a place to dive, and they explore further, just like octonauts do.
Status report, Dashi.
We're right on course, Captain.
So earlier we learned that D2 picks things up from the seafloor with his manipulator arm. Let's find out what we do with those samples. This is the wet lab, and Megan spends a lot of time here. Megan, can you tell us about your work?
I am the sample data manager, so when the ROV comes up, we go out and we collect the samples from the ROV and we bring them in here. And we try to record as much information about them as possible, everything from the details about what they look like to the environment conditions where they were found. How cold was it, for example? Then we come in and we take imagery using this microscope, and we take pictures using this camera as well. And then after we get all the pictures taken and we're ready, we prepare them for shipping to other scientists and museums so more science can be done, such as this squat lobster, this cup coral as well.
And what is that?
This is a piece of coral, or several pieces of coral, that we think might actually be a new species. So we are going to send it out for a comparison to existing species to see if we discovered something new.
Wow, you have a really cool job.
Thank you.
Fascinating. I've read about this, but I've never actually seen it.
An important part of how we explore the ocean is keeping in touch with scientists and AKwx on shore. Let's go see how we do that. Rosemary, could you tell the AKwx a little about what that dish does?
Sure. My name is Lieutenant Rosemary Abbott. I'm the operations officer aboard the Okeanos Explorer, and that is our VSAT. It stands for Very Small Aperture Terminal, and inside that satellite dome is a very powerful dish antenna that allows us to communicate with shore and share video in real time. The technology is called telepresence.
Wow, that is so interesting. Thank you, Rosemary. Now I'm getting really hungry. Let's go to the kitchen and talk about food. This is the ship's kitchen, also known as the galley. And this is Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Debbie.
Michael is the chief steward on this ship, and he keeps 49 people fed for 3 weeks at a time. Michael, how do you do that?
With a lot of care and with the help of 3 crew members. I have myself, the chief steward, a chief cook, and a second cook. And we just do it with a lot of love and care and make sure that everybody's happy and well fed. We use up to 150 dozen eggs per trip, up to 100 gallons of milk, a lot of veggies and fruits, a lot of snacks. Everybody's very pleased with what we usually put out. We also make sure that we do it in a loving way, in a sanitary way, in a safe way that keeps everybody from getting any tummy aches.
I'm about to enter the ship's bridge. It's like the Octopod's headquarters.
Octonauts to the HQ.
Ahoy, Captain.
Ahoy, Debbie.
Hi, Eric.
Hello.
Octocadets, meet Eric Johnson, the commander of the ship. Eric, can you tell us about what you do up here?
Absolutely. Hello, Octa Cadets. My name's Eric Johnson. I'm an O-Corps officer, and I'm the captain of the Okeanos Explorer. Welcome to my office. This is where we drive the ship. This is where we control the operations. We run the propellers that are underneath us in the back to the wheel up here at the front, which is where we steer. It's a pretty cool job. It's very exciting, and it's pretty beautiful around here as well.
So, Octocadets, now you know a little bit about the ship and how we explore the deep sea. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I'll see you next time.
Debbie, safety first.
And now, marine weather around Alaska.
Taking a look at the marine forecast, starting with the ice edge. The ice forecaster mentioned that a strong progression of ice through the Bering Strait and into the northern Bering was occurring, and with a strong northerly flow, and that fact that ice will be totally encompassing St. Lawrence Island here over the next day or so. Also, some concentrations of ice showing up there in the Bristol Bay region and even into the Cook Inlet region. Taking a look at marine forecast for southeast, inside waters winds generally from the south at 20 to 25 with seas as high as 8 feet. Outside waters winds generally from the south at 25 to 35 with seas as high as 22 feet. So look for small craft advisories to gale force winds out there. And then for Thursday, southeast marine forecast, inside waters winds generally from the southeast at 10 to 35 with seas as high as 9 feet. Outside waters winds generally from the southeast at 40 to 45 with seas as high as 25 feet. And again, look for gale force winds there. For Wednesday's marine forecast for south central, for the Gulf region, winds generally from a easterly direction 30 to 40 with seas as high as 20 feet. And in Prince William Sound, winds generally from the east at 30, seas as high as 7 feet. For the Cook Inlet region, winds generally from the north at 30 to 40 with seas as high as 16 feet there in the Kamishak Bay region. For Thursday, Gulf region, winds generally from the east at 30 to 40 with seas as high as 18 feet. Prince William Sound, winds generally from the southeast at 30 with seas as high as 6 feet. And for the Cook Inlet region, winds generally from the east at 30 to 25 to 30 with seas as high as 8 feet. For Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, Wednesday, winds around Kodiak Island generally from a variable direction 20 to 30 with seas as high as 14 feet. And south side of the Alaska Peninsula, winds generally from a northwesterly direction up to 35 with gusts to 50, so look for gale force winds there. And for the north side of the Alaska Peninsula, winds generally from a northerly direction 25 to 30 with seas as high as 14 feet. For Thursday, Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, winds around Kodiak Island generally from a northerly direction 25 to 35 with seas as high as 12 feet. And south side of the Alaska Peninsula, winds generally from the northwest at 35 with seas as high as 12, so look for gales there on Thursday. And north side of the Alaska Peninsula, winds generally from a northwesterly direction 25 to 30 with seas as high as 12 feet. For the Aleutian Chain, Wednesday, winds generally from a northerly direction 15 to 40 with gusts to 45 there south of Unalaska. Otherwise, seas as high as 18 feet. Thursday, Aleutian chain, winds generally from the west at 20 to 25 with seas as high as 10 to 11 feet there. And for our west coast, on Wednesday, winds generally from the north at 15 to 30 around the Pribs with seas as high as 11 feet. And for west coast on Thursday, sorry about the graphics, winds generally from the north at 15 to 20 with seas as high as 9 feet. For Arctic coast, winds generally from the east on the north there, 10 to 15, and then down through the Chukchi Sea, winds generally from the north at 15 to 25, and down through the Bering Strait, winds generally north at 25 with seas as high as 6 feet in the open water areas. For Thursday, Arctic coast, winds continue out of the east at 20, with winds in the Chukchi Sea coast there, generally from a south or southwesterly direction of 15, and down through the Bering Strait, winds generally from a northerly direction at 15, with seas as high as 3 feet in open water areas. For tonight's weather, 956 millibar low there, with a occluder front stretched out along the Gulf Coast region into the Panhandle, with moderate to light snow showers across much of the Panhandle, running into lower elevations, and rain spreading over into, and mixed precipitation spreading over to Kodiak Island and south of Alaska Peninsula and Aleutians. Otherwise, scattered snow showers through much of the Aleutians and into the Bering Sea, and strong pressure gradients across and winds across the southern mainland. For Wednesday, 966 millibar low now, with a continued trough now across the northern Gulf, snow showers across the southern mainland into the Panhandle.
These forecasts are for planning purposes only. Call 1-800-WX-BRIEF for a formal pre-flight briefing. Always file a flight plan before you go flying. The U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary urges you to leave a float plan with a friend or the harbor master before you go boating.